Meetings have been going great, and people are loving them. They're just really enthusiastic about the fellowship. There's a lot of people that came to our first one and have never missed one since.
There are a lot of people on this call. This is so fascinating.
Dorothy Buckler, and I have 16 horses. I know that's too many, but what can you do?
I heard about you guys through a Facebook ad, and just thought it was an awesome thing. And I'm always trying to share more about God and what he's doing for me anyway, so it fits in perfectly.
I'm actually in Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
Victor Mathis, charter member, mentoring with horses out of East Tennessee.
And so we've talked about having a name choice contest. So maybe we will.
Yeah.
He is a licker. You see him licking me?
It's a cool shirt you're wearing.
Yeah, I know, isn't it? I just got it this week. I ride mostly English, some hunter jumpers, dressage, trail riding, basically reliving my childhood.
And I think in order for us to be made in the image of a spirit, John says, God is spirit. Those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
And this is worth double points. How many horses did Solomon have? If you're ever wondering, hey, did I actually do that? If you just scroll down, it'll give you sort of a feed, kind of like on Facebook, of every single thing that you've done.
She would like to boss them around. You're right. Here's the one that stopped the truck.
I heard about it on Facebook, and I'm really excited to just share the love of Jesus and the love of horses.
Ranch patterns and trail riding, and just really enjoying horses with some really good people. So
I've got to get my show points going. I've got to get with that. And I love your shirt, but we need an English rider.
Yes, I'm going to talk about that.
And this is my first time on with you guys, and I'm not a member. I'm just learning about your group. So
all right. Well, welcome.
I'm gonna go. This is the neediest cat in the world.
It's the biggest cat in the world, unless you are a very tiny person.
Gotten away from God a little bit, and I'm glad to I've been looking at your association for a few weeks and decided, kind of join the meeting and see how it all was. And you guys are very welcoming. So it's awesome.
We're very glad to have you.
We're glad you're here.
I got to have a little praise report. My phone notifies me, and we just had a new notice come across the top of my phone that we have a new member has signed up for the Christian Horse Show Association. And that's a thrill every time that happens. This association is going and growing, and God's hand's upon it, and the anointing is building. I think these Zoom meetings are really adding to the fellowship. This is not just an unknown organization that you read about online. These are real people who love God and horses just like you do.
Let me give you a quick little update. We had these meetings are just growing every single week, so we have more and more people. So we're excited about that. Sorry, Miss Jessica, I muted you, so if you're talking, so I didn't mean to cut you off there. All right. Welcome everybody, Christian Horse Show Association. Again, like I said a little bit earlier, we started in January. You can submit points for any show that you participate in. We do have some partner clubs. We have 2 partner clubs right now. Miss Jessica is one of them, and we have another one in Missouri. If you are involved in a club that puts on horse shows that would like to be a partner club, please reach out to me. There's a contact form on the website. We have several different types of memberships. We have a non-competing membership, and actually about 35 to 40% of our members are non-competing members. Those are just people that are passionate about horses and passionate about Jesus and want to be part of this network, which is really becoming kind of a way to sort of connect different Christian horse-related ministries. And then we to connect different horse-related ministries. And then we have standard membership, which comes with 1 horse rider nomination. So when you compete on the basis of a single horse and a single rider. So if you have 3 horses and you want to compete on all 3 horses, that would be 3 different nominations. Or if you have 1, you can have 2 or 3 people ride the same horse, but those are also different nominations. And we track points. You can either track points or you can just track activity. If you're just trail riding, I think we are going to come up with an award for most miles ridden, most miles logged. And you can do that. The site currently to enter points is under maintenance. We're making some updates to it. And frankly, been so busy at my regular job, I didn't get a thing done this week. So I'm hoping maybe over the weekend I'll get a little bit of time, although it is my wife's birthday coming up, which is a national holiday in our house. So there will be there will definitely be a lot of time associated with that. The one thing I do want to announce is for everyone that is going to, we've been talking a lot about this International Ranch Ministry Conference. Our special speaker tonight is going to be one of the speakers there. And so we did come up with some merch for that. If you're going to order merch, you need to order it. Let me pull up the site here really quick. If you're going to order it, you do need to order it by, I think, September 15th, if you're going to get it. I have it written on there. Let me just share really quick. And so, yes, you need to order it by September 15th. And you can order, just like all of our regular shirts, you can order anything in the colors. We got dress shirts, we got sweatshirts, we got t-shirts, we got hats, bags, jackets, etc. So if you do want to get those, again, make sure to order them by the 15th because they will be shipped to you. They will not be shipped to the conference. I mean, unless I guess you could put the address of the conference in there if you were running late on it. But then Miss Allison might be wearing your stuff by the time you get there. So that is the main news. We're going to talk more about the conference that's coming up at the end of September. So I think all of our speakers between now and the end of September will be either conference speakers or somebody related to the conference. And it is I'll let Miss Kim talk about the conference a little bit. I don't want to steal her thunder. I'm trying to think if there's anything else related to, oh yeah, one other thing. We are going to have, over the winter break, we are going to do a Triple Crown. What are we calling it, Dave? Is it a Mustang break, horse breaking, colt starting? Colt starting challenge, a Triple Crown colt starting challenge. Yes. And that's going to be in November, December, and January. So thanks for mentioning that. And we want to promote that. And we would like to invite everybody to come and watch that. We'll have 3 horse trainers and 3 wild horses at each one of those competitions. So are you still looking for any trainers to come, or are you set on that? Or is it I guess we have an opening for a trainer in each of the months. We have 2 trainers that committed to all 3 months. And then we have an opening for 1 trainer each month. And it could be the same person each time, if you wanted to commit to all 3 months, or we could have different trainers for each of those months. Okay, so if you're interested in that, again, fill out the contact form on the website. And the way to get to that is if you're on the home page. I think you guys can still see my screen. Just click on contact. And there's a contact form you can fill out, or there should be. Yep, there it is. Scared me there for a second. All right. Or you can always just call me at the number on the screen. So one more thing I could say about that is that our January colt starting challenge is planned to be held the same weekend as the Christian Horse Show Association Awards Banquet. So I hope a lot of people will come in for the awards banquet, and then you can spectate the colt starting challenge. There'll be 3 trainers training 3 wild horses. There'll be Friday evening, all day Saturday, and then Saturday evenings we'll take a break and go over to the conference center and have our awards presentation. And then we'll wrap that up on Sunday morning with a cowboy church service, and then the obstacle course with these wild horses that were not trained 2 days ago, but now they are, and we'll ride them through the obstacle course, and then we'll announce the winners. And our November one is going to be at the end of November. I think the 24th is the start date of that one. And then our December one, we always have our holiday horsemanship clinics when everybody's off work and out of school between Christmas and New Year's. So the way that falls, the weekend between Christmas and New Year's is Friday, December 26th, the day after Christmas is when that one will start. And then Saturday, the 27th, and Sunday, the 28th of December is when that colt starting challenge is. So keep an eye out for that. We'll be promoting it. Very cool. Who have you got behind you? Yeah, I've got 2 babies. I decided to sit in here with them because they need time getting used to having a human near them.
And so
I was gonna say
that
the ears looked longer than normal, so I thought that's got to be a young one.
yeah, it is. He just weaned, and he is a Gypsy Vanner Frisian cross. He's 1/4 Frisian and half Gypsy Vanner.
Okay.
And then the other one is a Dutch harness horse Morgan standard bred cross, and she's got 4 white socks. She was actually a surprise package. When I bought her mother, I didn't know she was pregnant. So we're thrilled with the baby she had.
Very cool. So
Yeah.
everybody's introduced themselves except myself and Dave. I'm Richard. Most of y'all know me. I do the tech stuff. So Dave, you go ahead and introduce yourself, and then you can turn it over to Miss Kim.
Okay, so my name's David Davis, and I'm from Southern Indiana, and I have carried the vision for the Christian Horse Show Association for several years now. And I finally collaborated with Richard, who was able to help pull it together and design and launch the website and do the promotions. And so it is amazing to see how the Lord has blessed this vision. And I'm thrilled with every one of you who are here with us this evening and everybody who has signed up, the members we've got from all over the United States, including Alaska and Hawaii. And I just know God has great things in store for the Christian Horse Show Association.
One of the things we do at we have a meeting every single Thursday. That's just kind of a fellowship, a place for people to sort of connect with each other. Try to have a special speaker every single Thursday. Sometimes we do trainings or stuff like that, but our training for our special speaker for tonight is Kim Henry. She's going to be a speaker at the International Ranch Ministry Conference, and she has a ministry called Main Support. She's also written several books. I'm going to drop the links to those in the chat here in just a second. And Miss Katie, it's going to be in Hardinsburg, Tennessee, which is just northeast of Louisville, Kentucky, at the international headquarters of the Christian Horse Show Association, as we like to call it.
That's right.
The Davis Ranch.
Yes.
So take it away, Miss Kim. You've got, we usually go for about 20, 25 minutes, and then we'll talk about whatever you want. You can do the devotion first. You can talk about your ministry first, or you can kind of combine them both together. And then we'll have question and answer at the end, and then we'll play our trivia game, and then we'll do prayer requests.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks, Richard, for calling. Gosh, you guys are amazing. I was sitting here listening to you, and I am blessed to know Vivian, who was really the one that introduced me to the conference. And then got to do this. I am just blown away. So thank you for all you all do.
There you go.
Was planning on being horseless, I think, for the first time in a long time, but I don't know. After listening to y'all, I don't think I am. I don't know. You never know. I passed by a trailer today, a horse trailer, and I thought, no, I'm not done pulling trailers yet. So I don't know, but thank you so much. I'm not the greatest at doing this, so I'm going to do my very best. I had thought about a lot of things I wanted to share in terms of a devotional. And transition kept coming into play. I'll kind of mix a little bit here. The nonprofit Main Support, I was blessed to, the Lord actually gave me a real purpose about 20 years ago with Main Support, and it is an equine-assisted grief counseling program. But 20 years, and you hit a magic number and you think maybe I should be doing something else to help other people. So Spirit of Hope and Healing and LLC was formed, and that's just so that I can maybe help teach a little bit about what the ministry has done in terms of on-ground work. Everything we've done is primarily on ground. Go ahead.
Introduce you. Let me interrupt you just for a second. Sure. I always like to hear people's testimony, so we know a little bit about you before you jump into everything.
Okay. Do we have about 5 hours? No, I'm just kidding.
give us the 5-minute version.
Okay, 5-minute version. Okay, real quick points. Never talked growing up. No, y'all are going to find that hard to believe, especially if I get to see you at conference. Background is a little bit different. Primarily, my more adult background is in hospice work. Was very blessed to have a husband that when I would go work at inner city schools, he would say, please go find something to do, because I'd come home with all the stories. And I went back to riding, and I had not ridden since I was little. I grew up in the country and taught myself to ride. Met someone and started doing Western, And she knew of an organization called the Gala. For those of you that have heard of it, Equine-Assisted Growth and Learning Association. I was went to a training and thought that'll be really something neat to do, because they kept talking about, that it wasn't an event. And in hospice work, we talk about that the death of something or the grieving process it's just that. It's a process. It's not an event. And I thought, this will work. It'll be something nice and fun to do. Wow, God had so many more plans than I could have ever imagined. Over the past 20 years, Main Support, we decided to call the nonprofit Main Support, grew from just something fun to do to working with all kinds of people I've learned so much from veterans and first responders to military. No, I just said that, didn't I? To school systems, individuals, families, bereavement camps. It's just been an incredible avenue of very humble learning. So as we get to the end of that, the Lord has really put it on my heart, with the help of Vivian last year, to kind of push me out of my comfort zone a little bit, into forming something where I could maybe help teach people how we put together the nonprofit and how that works with not only equine, but also creative arts, finding different means of communication with the horses. When words are too hard, they're just too difficult sometimes. So here I am, right? 20 plus years later. So Spirit of Hope and Healing is the LLC that I have now. And part of what I'll be doing at the conference is to help people like yourselves who are on the front lines, who are people that help people, to really start taking care of yourself. What's it like to carry the load when the Lord is giving you all these wonderful things in your life to do? How do you do that? So that'll be part of that. And then I'll do a little bit on children and trauma work. But the word that keeps coming to my mind, and has for a long time, how many of y'all have a verse that is kind of your verse? You kind of hang on it. When I was starting, there was a picture that I saw, and it was of 3 horses running, one of the kind of a lithograph kind of picture. And it had Hebrews 12:1 on it. And I thought, I love that word, the verse, and I love the word perseverance. As I was starting to think about what I wanted to try to do for a devotional, I tried to put into my mind everything I wanted to do. I wanted to talk to you about transition, because that's where I am, or dismantling, or whatever. But what kept coming back was very simply the verse that I hang on to. So I want to read that to you. I know you guys know it, and so just forgive me after. Okay, here we go. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run the race with perseverance, the race marked out for us. And that's the NIV version. Perseverance has always stuck out with me, and I know it has for you all too. I'm sure you've seen all kinds of ebbs and flows in your ministries and what you're trying to do and what you have done. But I think the Lord has become so much more real to me than ever before, probably in this past 6 months, especially. Shown me a lot, and perseverance is the word. So I just want to encourage you all. It's a very short devotional, but if you get a chance to read that complete book or chapter in Hebrews, and just sit with that and what that word means to you, I think you'll be amazed at what all the Lord opens up to, what all you have done and are doing for him and for so many other people. So that's kind of the devotion I wanted to share with you tonight, was that verse in particular and the word perseverance and what it means. So can I ask, what, if you thought about the word perseverance, what does that mean to you?
It's funny. There's a post actually there's an electrolyte we give our horses, and it's called Persevere. And I actually made a post on the Christian Horse Show Association. This isn't just I'll put a link to it in the chat. This isn't just a commercial for electrolytes. It's a message for somebody out there that needs to hear it. And that is so much. perseverance is what it's all about. It's hard to start, but it is much harder and more important to keep going. And the only way you can lose, the only way you can fail, the only way you can lose is if you quit.
I totally agree with that. I think, again, just wanting to share something tonight, and it just trying to put things in place. Of course, when I'm trying to do it, instead of going, "Hey Lord, what would you like for me to do?" "Oh no, let me control that." But it just kept coming back to that verse. It's a verse that I use on all my marketing stuff. It's a verse that will be on the back of our little shirts, and I think it's just something that I hang on to. So thank you, Richard, for sharing that too, because you're right. If you don't continue, you fail. But
I could chime in here with a thought.
please do.
I preached Sunday morning and talked about the scripture in Romans that said perseverance develops character, and character hope. And so there's a progression there. Once you have persevered and developed the character, then you have hope that things are going to work out because you've learned how to use your faith.
I totally agree with you. Vivian can attest to this. I name everything hope. Like from the concrete horse that's outside to the LLC has to be hope and healing. So you're absolutely right. I just love this. Yeah. And so thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you all for listening. I do wish you all the best in your ministries, and just know how much that you do and all the gifts that God has given you to use. It's pretty phenomenal just from what I'm seeing tonight. You guys are amazing. No matter what.
So if you could talk a little bit about, having been in ministry for a very long time, some of maybe one of the struggles that you faced that made you want to quit, and how you got through it.
Just one.
Well, you can pick one, or
Okay,
one or
I'll
two or three, or we've got a few minutes left here before we do
I'll hurry.
questions and answers.
I'll share this. Widowed twice. First time I didn't get married till I was later in life, and he was 37, had a massive heart attack, and then never thought I'd get married again, but I did. And Calvin had a family farm, and that's actually the Lord used that family farm to start main support on. But then he had mesothelioma. So it fit, all into all the hospice piece. So definitely wanted to quit then, and thought that was it, especially in 2008. That was it for me. I was done. And then the horse that he had bought as an anniversary gift, quarter horse, 2T Yankee Gold. Yank helped me start main support, and Yank died 2 years after Calvin did. Cancer from some weird thing. And I thought, that's it, I am done. But the Lord sent our veterinarian to me and said, no, you're not done. You're not done. So I think that it's been amazing. Every time that I've wanted to quit, the Lord put somebody or something in my life that doesn't let me. Where we are now, we had the nonprofit in another county, and I moved here just to do a satellite. We don't own this piece. I did own the other one, but it's a little difficult. And so that state of transition right now, over the past, especially year, definitely have thought, okay, I'm done. And then the Lord sends people into your life. And one of those people for me has been Vivian. So I'm looking down here, Viv, because on my screen, you're at the corner. And I think it's amazing. I just want to encourage you when on those days that it is hard, and I think the enemy does a really good job of knocking the thunder out of us or trying. What is that saying that says that, the girl gets up and something that the devil hears her boots hits the floor or something, and I want to encourage you to put boots on the ground every day, with whatever you have, hope in your back pocket and perseverance in the other one, because he sends you people, and he sends you things, and he sends you, like you calling, Richard, that night. I was in the barn when I called you back, And I was wondering, Lord, how am I going to help other people? I have an activities manual that I wrote, that has equine stuff in it, I'm putting together a model and all that, but how am I going to do that? And one of the things you said to me was people are looking for ways to do things. So it's funny what the Lord does. It's not sometimes, you all know this, it's not this grandiose thing that happens. It can be the slightest thing.
Yep. Well, if you think a couple things, one, I think the thing you're thinking about is, when your feet hit the ground, the devil should say, "Oh my God, she's up again."
Yeah, that's it.
But two other things that really strike me is, one, very true. Often, when major things happen with God, it seems very mundane at the time. The whole reason Jesus was born in Bethlehem to fulfill prophecy was because they had to go pay their taxes. I'll guarantee you, Mary on a donkey on the way to Bethlehem was not thinking, "Oh, great, prophecy is about to be fulfilled." She was thinking, "I really wish I was not on this donkey, while I'm 9 months pregnant." But the other thing, can you guys hear me okay? Is there a noise on the line?
It's fuzzy.
Yeah, a little bit. The other thing, I'm not sure what's going on here with my connection. The other thing is how important it is when God prompts you to say, "Hey, call that person and encourage them." Somebody that that's going through a hard time. And they might, you might not even know they're going through a hard time. They might just be struggling with something that day. And if the Holy Spirit prompts you to say, "Hey, call that person, tell them they're doing a good job," just encourage them a little bit, pray for them. Don't dismiss that. I've never in my life, there's this one manager I had, and he would whenever he called me, he'd always say something encouraging to me. And you know what? I never got tired of people encouraging me. Sometimes you think, "Oh, that person's just going to think I'm corny," or, they're busy and they don't want to hear it. No, really. If you're calling somebody and God's telling you to do it and you're encouraging them, don't dismiss that. And they're going to be happy that you did. And you could be saving their ministry or changing their life. So I would encourage that. I'm sure people probably have a lot of questions. So we'd like, and if you don't have anything else, we'd like to just open the floor to questions if you're up for that.
Definitely. I just wanted to say again, thank you. Thank you for the honor of being here with you guys. I look forward to talking to you again, whether it's at conference or any other time. So thank you, Richard. Thank you.
And feel free to join here whenever you'd like to. We'd love to have you.
By the way, I'm a member.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Cool. Does anybody have any questions for Miss Kim?
Hi, Miss Kim. How many horses did you have along the way? It sounded like you started with the one, but then did you just get another one, or did you grow in that area? I'm just curious.
Sure. So, when you're a nonprofit, and what'll happen a lot of times, people want to donate horses to you. So we just continue to grow. And then what I found is, I do a lot of metaphors. So metaphorically, grief is big and it's small. And so that's when we started with minis too. At one point we had 21. That was a little crazy. I was kind of like the crazy lady with potato chips or cats or so I couldn't do enough. But now we are down to 4 minis, 1 dwarf mini that actually, when he was rode behind the back seat of my truck. He's too small for a trailer. And then the gypsies, Tennessee Walker, a couple of rescues. So it just grows, it ebbs and flows. Right now we have an aging population. So we've lost 4 or 5 in the past year. Yeah, but it'll grow according to your needs. I promise you, the Lord and everybody else will bring you horses that you need.
So sometimes you'll need to, there's no such thing as a free horse, as we all know. And if a ministry needs to downsize or is going through a portion, if you are a nonprofit and somebody has donated that horse, is there anything that stops you from finding that horse a good home or selling it and using that money for the nonprofit?
No, as a nonprofit, if you're going to give things away, you have to, if you're closing and you have to gift that then to other nonprofits. However, if you're closing or you're downsizing and you sell something, then put the money back into the programs. And
Gotcha. So you can sell the horse or do it. Okay, cool. That makes sense.
Back into the program.
Very cool. Does anybody else have any questions? Any other questions for Miss Kim before we jump to our trivia contest?
Can I just thank you, Kim, for saying that. I appreciated that. And I wanted to add, Richard, that maybe not just calling somebody to encourage them, but just if you just passing by somebody and just telling them good morning, saying, "Oh, I love your glasses," or "Oh, I love your shoes," or just some little something that encourages someone along the way is
Absolutely. Or bringing them pie or something you've cooked, I've often found is a great way to, for anybody here, especially that's local in Tennessee, bringing food is an awesome way to encourage people. Very cool.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Okay, I do have one more question for you, Kim. Sorry. I heard you say at the beginning something about how you connected creative arts. How does that into your how do you bring that into your program?
Sure. So sorry, guys, my dog has his ball now. If you hear it squeak, he was been very quiet this whole time. When you talk about grief or things that you've experienced that are too difficult to talk about, some people do like being with the horses and just being there. Some people like riding, some people like writing, some people like painting, drawing, the whole nine. So just finding out what's best, how people talk best. And sometimes it's just being there. That's a big thing in hospice that we talked about. But with the creative arts, I'm so sorry. I know a lot of people paint on horses with non-toxic paint. Just make sure if you're doing any media to make sure and tell people that for sure so that they know. But also it's not, it can be wonderful just avenue. I worked at school shooting in Parkland. And I worked with the Therapeutic Riding Center there because a lot of those children had gone to the Parkland school. And there was a little girl there, and she had drawn 3 blue hearts on one of these horses. So the staff from the Therapeutic Riding Center were also involved because their kids were at the school who got shot, et cetera. And so this little girl was there, and the staff came around, and her mom was talking, and everybody thought it was a beautiful drawing. It was 3 beautiful horses, 3 beautiful blue hearts on this pretty bay horse. No, she had hid under her desk, and those were the 3 students she saw die. But she didn't want to talk about that. But the horse allowed her to do that because that was something she could do. And then a lot of times we'll talk about what that means. Can they touch it? Can they wash it away? And if not, how long does it need to stay? And so there's a whole thing just by listening to people. It's truly nothing that I've done. It's about really the horse and people's stories. And you guys know better than anybody because you work with horses. They listen in a different way, right? They teach us every day how to just be still and be there instead of just running our mouth and doing things. It's about listening with your heart. And you all do that anyway. Otherwise, you wouldn't be working with the horses. So does that help? Does it help you understand? And there's an activities manual I'll have at conference, and it's got all kinds of activities and how you can incorporate them with horses or without. And I'll be glad to talk to you anytime. So
I dropped Kimberly's information in the chat, her website, and also one of the books that she's written that's available on Amazon. So please feel free to make yourself available for that.
I thank God for giving me a dream to keep me living right, to give my life a purpose so I can fight the good fight. trying to be the best that I can keeps me on the right track. Now that I know that I've chosen the right way, I could never want to turn back. Now that I know that I've chosen the right way, I could never want to turn back. Jesus, I could never want to turn back.